Okay, everybody, I am back here again, and this time I am going live through Facebook Live. We've been trying to flow through Zoom, but it seems like I was getting feedback. So, anyway, thank you for your patience. Please put your name in our box so I know that you're there and I can say hello to you. Today, we're going to be talking about sugar. And normally, Mary Ellen and I are here to introduce each other, but in her absence, I wish everyone the best of luck on the East Coast there that are getting affected by the hurricane, and hope that you get your electricity back as soon as possible, then everybody stays safe. So, just to recap, my name is Evie Schweig. I am a holistic health coach. Um, and both Mary Ellen and I have a common passion for educating, guiding, and inspiring people to live their very best lives through healthy lifestyle choices. This Take 20 program is a way for us to share current health topics in a short 20 minutes that will help you improve your health. And by participating in this program, we hope to inspire you to take steps towards living your very best life. So, in this and future topics, we will discuss different ways for you to improve your health, whether it's through eating a healthier diet or upping your physical activity, maybe getting better sleep, uh, even maintaining healthy relationships, looking at your career, and discussing stress management. And if you've missed the monthly topics and you want to check them out, you can find the recordings on our Facebook page that you're here right now, Tips for a Healthy Lifestyle with Evie and Mary Ellen, or on our YouTube channel, Take 20 Tips. So, today we'll be chatting about the pros and cons of sugar, something that I'm sure all of you are interested in. And yes, sugar is actually something that our body needs for energy. The problem is that sometimes too much of a good thing isn't good for us. So, our body gets energy when we eat carbohydrates that are found naturally in food. A carbohydrate is nothing more than a string of sugar molecules that are strung together. It's easily broken down by our body into quick energy. And we get energy from fats and protein, but they're much more difficult for the body to assimilate than the quick energy of the carbohydrates and sugars. So, therefore, carbohydrates and sugars are the preferred energy source for our body. And because sugar is a readily available source of energy, our bodies seek it out and crave it, which is why our standard American diets includes lots of sweet foods and more than what is really healthy for us. So the American Heart Association recommends that we consume no more than 9 teaspoons, that's about 150 calories, of added sugar per day. That's for men. For women, the number is actually lower. It's 6 teaspoons, or about 100 calories per day. But here's the problem. The reality is American adults consume on average almost 20 teaspoons, or 334 calories of sugar per day. That's more than 3 times the recommended amount for women. It's amazing, isn't it? So this adds up to about 60 pounds of added sugar a year. Think of it this way. That's like 6 10-pound bowling balls. That's a lot of sugar. And the numbers are even worse for children. American children consume just over 20 teaspoons per day, which equals about 65 pounds of added sugar per year. To put that in terms that it might be easier to understand, that means the average grade schooler consumes more than his entire weight in sugar every year. Wow, that's a lot of sugar. But so we said sugar is energy, right? So what is the danger of having sugar? So the most obvious direct result of over-consuming sugar is that the body will store unused sugar as fat. All right. Many of us do not have a lifestyle that requires the amount of sugar that we're actually consuming. So this results in weight gain, and even more less obvious effects are low mood or like fluctuations. When you're moody, when you get hangry, um, maybe foggy thinking, you can't seem to think straight, or things that you can see that come out on your body, like acne, um, drained energy. It even accelerates age. And of course, as we know, it contributes to tooth decay. All of these things are things that we don't want and that are not good for us. And years of high sugar and processed food consumption in our diet can lead to something called a metabolic syndrome. So, what is metabolic syndrome, you might ask? Well, it isn't really a true disease, but it's actually a cluster of risk factors that include things like high blood pressure or elevated triglycerides. You've probably heard that your doctor say that you have high levels of triglycerides. Low HDL cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol is actually the good one, so we want more of it, not less. Large waistline circumferences, high blood sugar, which all of these factors identify individuals at high risk for developing chronic conditions such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke later on in life. All chronic diseases that we're seeing in our society today. So, where is this added sugar coming from, right? It's not surprising that sugary beverages such as soda and fruit drinks and processed foods such as snacks and sweets are the biggest contributors of added sugars. Take, for example, one 12-ounce can of soda. One 12-ounce can of soda, which is your average can of soda, contains 8 teaspoons of added sugar. So that's a whole day's allotment of sugar in one can, one big slurp. But this is an obvious place to find sugar. Sugar can be hidden in many of the processed foods that we eat. For example, did you know that sugar can be found in ketchup, tomato sauce, salad dressings, yogurt, energy bars that are supposed to be good for us, right? Barbecue sauce, all high in added sugars. In fact, most foods found in jars, boxes, and cans contain added sugars. Now, knowing this, you may be tempted to look to alternative sugars as a magical solution. Products made with honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar, or turbinado sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and dextrose, for example, are thought to be maybe healthier choices. They certainly don't say sugar, right? But don't be fooled. Your body knows that these are actually sugars. They break down into sugar in the body and is treated much the same as cane sugar. Cane sugar is that white sugar that you find on your table. And too much sugar is too much sugar, no matter what the source. So your best bet is to obtain sugar from a natural source. It all comes down to how fast the sugars get absorbed. And for that reason, fruit, even though it's sweet and contains sugar in the form of fructose, it's still part of a healthy diet. Why? Fruit is nutritious because it contains vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber. And fiber, something we kind of take for granted, we don't think much about, but it's important because it naturally slows down the absorption of sugar after we eat it. For example, your body spends more time digesting an apple because of the fiber content. So the natural sugar, as I said, gets absorbed more slowly. Now, on the flip side, the added sugar in that soda, remember that soda can with 8 teaspoons in it? That sugar arrives all at once into your bloodstream. There's no fiber in there to slow it down. It enters your blood system like a sugar bomb. Boom. And all that extra sugar, what happens to it? Your body doesn't need it. So it gets converted to calories much quickly. But if it's not used, it gets converted into fat storage for when maybe you need it later on. And you'll be surprised. Once you remove those added sugars from processed foods from your diet, your taste buds will actually start changing. And I know a lot of people don't believe this, but it happened to me, it happened to Mary Ellen, it can happen for you. That's because our taste buds have become accustomed to those high levels, sugar levels that are found in processed foods. And when we start eating whole foods that are naturally sweet, our taste buds begin to adapt as well. Fruit starts tasting sweeter, and you even crave less sweet foods. It's amazing. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. So, that being said, if you're still looking for added sweetness, there are other sweeteners such as stevia or monk fruit. These sweeteners are considered generally recognized as safe based on research reviewed by the Food and Drug Administration and don't raise the blood sugar levels the same way that sugar does. But be careful. Studies have shown that they still can trigger, can't talk, they still can trigger similar responses in the brain that lead to sugar cravings. So sugar substitutes such as sucralose and aspartame have been shown also to have similar effects. So another reason to stick to whole foods instead of processed. So what do you think? Did you learn something new about sugar? Well, Mary Ellen and I are convinced that sugar can be limited in our diet and help everybody. And for that reason, we are having a 10-day free sugar cleanse starting September 8th. We'll focus on getting rid of the sugar traps in your kitchen and deconstructing your sugar cravings and swapping in naturally sweet veggies. And just important, we will focus on lifestyle habits that can contribute to your cravings, such as not getting enough sleep or chronic stress. And especially during this time of COVID, we may be experiencing additional anxiety and stress in relationships with the family, near and far, and friendships. So as your coaches, Mary Ellen and I will be with you all the way. When you sign up with your address, with your email address, you'll receive 10 days of emails that automatically will come to your inbox every day, every morning. And you'll also be invited to join the 10-day Sugar Cleanse Facebook group, which is a private group just for us. We can all support each other there and ask questions. And we'll be monitoring the group daily to help support you too and answer any questions that you might have. So how do you sign up? As I said, it is free. Just leave your email in the chat to sign up or email Mary Ellen at coachmaryellen@outlook.com. That's coachmaryellen@outlook.com. Or you can email me at evieschweig@me.com. That's evieschweig@me.com. So we'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat box and I will answer them now, or I can answer them later on. Anything about sugar or your questions about the program, anything that I might have spoken about tonight,